you have an advantage because you voiced Batman in Batman Year One.
Yeah.
So you kind of know who Batman is. Does that help you to play Gordon more?
Maybe it does. Yeah. It was nice to read Year One while we were doing that and sort of refamiliarize myself with the mythology as an adult, as opposed to when I first read them as a kid, because it does change. It's interesting how, I think Batman, one of the signs of a story being sort of universally beloved is that you can appreciate it at whatever age you're at. A 10-year-old boy or girl can appreciate Batman for certain elements, and then an adult can appreciate the same story for completely different aspects. And one of the things that's great about about performing this role in this context is kind of acting out your fantasies from being 12 years old, playing with your brother in the backyard of your house in Texas, playing cops and robbers, but playing with an adult sensibility, which Gotham has. It has fun, but it's still sort of adult. It's kind of the best of both worlds.
What other portrayals of Jim Gordon did you look to when you were researching?
None. Yeah, I mean, because you can't do an impression of somebody else. I grew up watching the old Adam West show, so I'm familiar with Pat Engel's performance, and of course Gary Oldman in the movies, who's so fantastic. But you can't. Studying other people's portrayal of this character, even if they were portraying it at the same time in his life, which they weren't, they were portraying his commissioner 20 or 30 years after we pick up the action in Gotham, it wouldn't really help. It would only serve to further intimidate and further sort of block you from personalizing your relationship to her.
And you're going to grow a mustache now?
No. Maybe at the very end, the very last season, possibly, if we go for a long time.
Your character is really going through this sort of continual evolution, isn't he? Because he sort of starts as a good person who has to sort of dip into the dark side, but for the greater good. But is there a point where he could go so far that he can never sort of go back to sort of the way he was?
Yes, that's very well observed, and that is what sort of a lot of his evolution in the first season is about. Because he makes a decision with the pilot alone, he makes a decision which is the morally correct decision, not to take the life of Oswald Cobblepot, only to have Oswald return tomorrow night's episode, 3 weeks later. Immediately, the ramifications of making the correct decision is that he's created a supervillain, basically. And so he learns from experiences like that, and unfortunately, in Gotham, the morally correct decision is not always the decision that will yield the best results. And so that moral slippery slope that he's sort of sliding down will only steepen and will only accelerate down.
Why does he take such an inordinate interest in Bruce? Or is this something that will be coming up in the season as it goes on?
Well, Bruce, a couple of reasons. The first is that Jim sees in Bruce himself, because Jim lost his father when he was Bruce's age, and that's what bonds them at the sight of the Wayne murders when he meets Bruce. He just senses that this young man is in pain, and he himself feels that pain. In addition to that, Bruce, being the son of Thomas and Martha Wayne, is a figurehead in the community. He is basically the boy prince. Whether Gotham and mythology always has a certain kind of, to me, a resonance in sort of medieval power structure stuff. It's not quite like, and so the Waynes were this incredibly prominent family with moral force in Gotham, and suddenly, with their murders, just goes away. Bruce has to rise to the occasion and step onto the throne and take control. And so Jim is trying to save him from effectively sliding down the same moral slope that Jim himself is sliding down.
Jim and Barbara's relationship is really a really neat angle. How much do you know if Jim is kind of suspicious of Barbara's secrets and her past at this point?
I don't know that he's suspicious of them now. However, in the episode that airs tomorrow night, things will happen, and may have a new understanding of who she is. I think at the point where we pick them up, they're both sort of lying to each other and lying to themselves. They're approximating a successful relationship between two successful people, like a successful, healthy relationship in this beautiful penthouse apartment that her father has bought her, and he's, you know, an ambitious guy. He's going to work his way up the force. But they're hiding things from each other. He can't tell her what he's had to do on the job. You know, in the last episode, he's talking about this vigilante who's out there, the balloon man, killing people, and he says cops do the same thing, some of these cops, and she says, you? And he's looking at her, asking her, do you think I'm capable of that? The truth is, he probably is capable at some point down the line. And she's also hiding things from him, so some of it will come to a head tomorrow.